Morning Joe. So, one of the hallmarks of our special on Saturday night, which again, approaching 4 million views, was that corporations pay for hate. The hate brigades make money. And MSNBC is the biggest hateful media in the country, perhaps the world. And everybody knows it. That's beyond dispute. They're haters. And we ran down all the sound bites of all the haters on MSNBC on Saturday, and you can see it. Well, today, NBC pulled off the air Morning Joe. Now, whether that was a direct response to what I did, I don't know. But believe me, I know that Comcast, Brian Roberts is the CEO, they got my message. So they pulled Morning Joe off the air. Now, Morning Joe himself, Joe Scarborough, and his wife, Brzezinski, would not be safe in Milwaukee because there are nuts on the other side, too. But they pulled Morning Joe off the air. Why did they do it? Because here's what Scarborough traffics in, and here's what NBC News pays him to say. Go.
So maybe he didn't read Mein Kampf, but he kept a collection of Hitler's speeches by his bed, according to his first wife, in a Vanity Fair article. And you can hear it in his words. You can see it at his rallies. That's exactly the direction he's going. He's going doubling, tripling down on fascist Hitler-like rhetoric.
He gets paid for that. He gets paid millions of dollars to say garbage like that. So Comcast is responsible for that. Right? I worked in Fox News for more than 20 years. We had some people who were over the top. Not many, but some. But over the years, that diminished. Then it was a camaraderie between liberals and conservatives on Fox. Sometimes it got heated, but it was never a pattern of behavior, and it's not to this day. All right, Fox News, they are a traditional network, lean conservative, but there's not too much invective personal stuff. Gutfeld brings it up to the line, but he's a satirist, that kind of stuff. That's what Colbert traffics in, and Colbert goes, oh, I'm a semi comedian. Okay. But Fox News doesn't pay for hate. MSNBC does. All right? That's the difference. So you know. Disney pays for hate, too, and I'll get to that in a moment. Okay. Inappropriate reaction to the shootings. Lauren Boebert is a Republican congressperson from Colorado. Go.
I do believe that Joe Biden is responsible for the shooting today. Kyle Clark, an innocent supporter of President Trump, someone who loved President Trump and was there exercising their right to support him, lost their life today. Everyone who has called him a fascist, everyone who has called him a threat to democracy, who said that he should be put in a bullseye, as Joe Biden said.
Yeah, bullseye was used, but it wasn't used literally. That's what they do to Trump all the time. All the time. And I'm going to give you an example right now. Okay? But Ms. Boebert is trafficking in hate. Joe Biden is not responsible for this mentally ill person in Pennsylvania shooting at the president and killing an innocent bystander and wounding two others. Joe Biden is not responsible for that. Yet Boebert accuses it because she hates him. Okay. Martha Raddatz. Know her well. I work with her at WCBB TV in Boston. Liberal woman. Good reporter. But lives in the liberal bubble in D.C. Social life, everything is there. Liberal, liberal, liberal. So she's on ABC, all right, yesterday, talking to another liberal guy, George Stephanopoulos. Go.
in March. He said, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That will be the least of it. He said he was partly joking and that was taken out of context. But those are indeed his words.
That is a massive deception. I would fire Ms. Raddatz if I were the president of ABC News. But remember, ABC News runs The View, and we'll get to that in a minute. That was just a massive misrepresentation on a day after Donald Trump was shot in the head. To me, she's out, gone, fired. That's it. That was so inappropriate. Now, here's what Trump actually said on March 16th. Go.
We're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars if I get elected. Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it.
Well, he's talking economics, all right? And the whole speech was about, that portion of the speech was about economics. Everybody knows that. Raddatz knows it because she's an intelligent woman. Yet she picks it out and throws it down the throats of the ABC viewers not even 24 hours after Donald Trump was shot. Still on the air, still working for ABC. I don't know. I mean, I really don't. But that's what's wrong with the country, is corporate media. Disney owns ABC. We'll get to that in a moment. Now, overall, the media reportage about the Trump shooting has been banal. Word of the day, B-A-N-A-L. They don't know how to cover this story, they being the people on television. So they react to everything. And the reactions, a lot of times, are just foolish. Roll the tape.
I think there's a feeling in the country that everybody would like to see the tone and the heat drop down a bit on both sides, especially in the wake of something as jarring as yesterday.
Everybody would like to see the tone and the heat drop down? No. No. Do you have access to a computer? Do you see what's on social media? Do you see the corporations paying? Just gave you an example of it. And I'm going to give you 5 more coming up. So when I hear this kind of stuff, I'm sitting there going, no. Hatred is profitable. There are millions of emotionally disturbed people who want to hate. They enjoy it. And you're saying everybody wants it dialed down? No. Whew. Now, the hate brigade is retreating because the pressure is being ramped up by people like me and others. And I'm not coming at this from a self-righteous point of view, by the way. You know, if you watch me, okay, I'll go after you if I believe that you're on the wrong side of the folks. My job is to look out for you. But I don't go after you in a personal way. All right? I go after you fact-based issue way. Now, The View is the worst. It's worse than anything they have on MSNBC. And it's a shame because when Barbara Walters invented that program, and I was on that program plenty of times, it was fun in the beginning. It was funny. It was robust debate. Now it's hate. Roll the tape.
If, God forbid, the Antichrist gets reelected, and I'm meaning the...
She means that in a good way.
Yeah. I mean the, former twice impeached. How many counts? 91.
91
counts.
or two.
And civilly liable for sexual assault. If he gets put into the White House, now I think there's a real shot that the Democrats have the House and the Senate if they run these kinds of races. And so that will at least put a check on the Antichrist, right?
The Antichrist. Disney pays for that every day. So the ladies were warned by Disney management today to bring it down. They were warned. NBC pulled Morning Joe off the air. They didn't pull The View off the air, but they told him, you better dial it down. They couldn't dial it down. This is today. Go.
I mean, we've seen that many times now, young white men with guns, and nobody reported that he bought 50 rounds of ammunition. I just want to say, though, that this shooter, he was a registered Republican. He also donated $15 to Act Blue in 2021, which is an odd thing, but he was a Republican.
So immediately they politicized it. Young white men with guns. What about young black men with guns? Got a lot of those. Got a lot of young Hispanic men with guns. Young white men. Okay? No, he's Republican. 20 years old. You think this guy knew anything about any political philosophy at all? No. They couldn't stop. They had to continue with this divisive stuff on that program. Robert Iger, CEO of Disney, writing that check every day. Good check. Okay, the solution is to put massive pressure on the haters. Massive pressure. So here's how you can do that. The Comcast Corporation runs NBC News. The address is 1 Comcast Center, 1701 JFK Boulevard, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19103. Okay? And you can write directly to Brian Roberts, the CEO. And there's a number you can call, too. Disney. The best way to get to Disney, and that's Robert Iger is the CEO, is to email DATG Communications at abctv.com. DATG Communications at abctv.com. Or you can call them at 818-460-7477, 818-460-7477. Now, CNN has dialed it back because it destroyed their brand. The hate Trump stuff destroyed that network's brand. Okay, it used to be well-respected around the world. No longer, nobody watches it. I was going to give you there, but they're not the problem anymore. All right? They have enough people there who are honest, in my estimation. The big problem is NBC News, MSNBC, and ABC. Okay, now hatred's not exclusive on the left. And a lot of conservatives will not accept this. I'm just going to let you listen to 35 seconds of hate on the right. Go.
We got a mutt in the White House, a guy I absolutely can't stand. The guy's a felon. He's a kid-sniffing, woman-feeling, lying, plagiarizing, bribe-taking loser, and I'm going to call him exactly what he is.
Look, we all know Joe Biden, and I want to ask this. We all know that he's creepy. I don't want to say pedophile. Gives off the vibe. I cannot confirm that, but it's creepy. We all know that. Okay.
I have told you for months on air they're going to try to kill Trump. And when they try to kill Trump, they're going to go after everybody else that is his top supporters. And they also will try to kill Biden and blame it on a Trump supporter. That's coming next.